Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to more trades. Bitcoin has done it again. We got rejected again badly from the level that we always have to keep an eye out. I will show you what I'm talking about. I always mention it. It's always going to be a problem for Bitcoin. The moving exponential moving average. Let's give it a bit of color. Dots. 3. There you go. On the 1 hour chart, as you can see, Bitcoin rejected perfectly at the 200 EMA. I've mentioned it several times in my streams that whenever Bitcoin gets to the 200, either it pumps above it, then breaks below it. And at the moment, we just got stuck at it in the 200. If you look at a smaller time frame, you might see some candles that went above it. See? If you go on the... This was yesterday, the 21st. So we had... Well, you can't unless I fix I fix it on the time frame. See, I fix it on the hourly and I go like that. So even on the 15-minute, you will see that Bitcoin wasn't able to even close a candle above it. Let's look at the 5-minute. I'm just trying to show that if you're looking at different time frames, you might see some different action and say, no, that Bitcoin can break the 200, but it depends on what time frame you're watching. So yeah, basically Bitcoin got rejected at the 200, and this is what's going to happen next. If we keep holding this position and we don't break above, if Bitcoin doesn't do something crazy, as if Bitcoin doesn't decide to just pump up and go like that, then what's going to happen next is this. Let me choose highlighter. No, where is that? Let's use a highlighter. You're gonna see the EMA will be doing this. It will be creeping down as price pulls down or maintains that level, and it's gonna get here. Okay, that's what it's gonna do. And the price action will be doing something like this. We might hold this. We might have a bit of craziness today, a bit slight up, then we go down until we get over here. And at the same time, we have on the 4-hour chart, I'll show you something. On the 4-hourly chart, you can see we have our purple cloud. That's the Ichimoku cloud. It's thickened so much. It might get thinner as we approach the 26th and go towards the 29th, 30th, end of the month. The cloud might start getting thinner, but we need to start pushing up slowly, and eventually we'll get a Kumo twist and probably get a green support cloud over there. But the point of this, I was showing you this cloud and what the EMA may do and price action, is that we're all coming, it's all aligning to one thing. The Fibonacci 2.618 Fib time over here. You see this purple line? I'll switch off the cloud so you can see it. This vertical purple line, that's a Fibonacci time. I've given you three previous times warnings ahead of time of a Fib time incoming, and it caused some action happening. I've given you on the 10th, the 15th, and I believe on the 19th. I've mentioned it in my videos. This is the 19th. See what happened. 15th, that candle up here, and the 10th. Look what happened on the 10th. This is a 4-hour time frame. If we go on the daily to make it a bit clearer, look at that, because this was plotted on the daily. So this was the 7th. I wasn't looking at it, but from the 10th I told you, and that's what happened, and we continued down 15th, we had very good price action, up and down, 10% down, 10% up, something like that. So good trades. 19th, we got this pump. And now the 23rd is incoming. Now you need to keep in mind, 23rd of June is incoming. Fib time is incoming. Ichimoku is low. 200 EMA, which is a problem for Bitcoin, is low. Macro market structure is bearish. We would be coming to an end, but I predict or project that the end could be somewhere here. Between 1st August, I don't know why does it go to 1st December, but I think I predict, yeah, probably. What I'm trying to say is I expect one more red month. I expect July to be a red month. According to some calculations I've done, July may be a red month, just like August. I mean, just like June and May. We've had so many red months now. We're overdue for a pump, but when you look at the monthly, you had 1, 2, 3 red months, and we had a bounce for 2, and now we are having 3 other red months. We might have a bounce, but having 3 candles like this, they call them 3 black crows, and they may indicate a further move to the downside, where they didn't do that over here. But 3 black crows have some conditions. I think each candle has to open and close below the other one. This one didn't open and close, didn't open below this one. It opened within. I think there's some conditions. It opened just, obviously it would open below it, but I think there are some conditions for 3 black crows to be 3 black crows, and this over here made 3 black crows, and over here this is what's happening, and this is even better because the third one is even bigger. Okay, so the 23rd of June, we have the Ichimoku coming down. We have a possible red July according to my calculations. I may be wrong, I could be wrong, I'm not right all the time. And we have the 200 EMA on the hourly being a problem, and we have, again, for the second time, if not more than the second time, I only remember the time before this, Jerome Powell, Fed Chair Jerome Powell, is speaking or testifying in front of Senate. Last time it was the FOMC and Fib time, and this happened, and this time he's testifying, and we got a big move on that day or a day before. So today is 22nd, and he's testifying 22nd and 23rd. And essentially 23rd of May, I mean, Thursdays are usually a midweek reversal for the market. So we've been moving down during the week. We've been moving down for a while. The beginning of this week, we had 22nd, 21st, 20th, we had a pump. So we may have a reversal back down, may start even today. But Jerome Powell is testifying today, so if he does, and the Fib time is incoming, okay, enough of that. I took too long in that. You get it. Just keep an eye. If you're in profits, move your stops into profits. That's for this chart. I believe this is a wave 4 of this 5 count. I believe this green 5 from 4 to 5 has 5 waves, and this is a 4, and we're going down for 5. Now I'll go to the other chart. On the Binance chart, as you can see at the moment, this is a 5-minute chart. Let's go to the hourly. On the hourly, we had a rising channel a few days ago. Let's look at it. And that, let's see if it was perfect. We had a pivot point here. We connected here, and we had gone down here. Looks like we broke it. The measured move for that is $19,454. So 19,454 would be a first target. At the moment, we're at a level, an important level. And that's why I marked it out, historical level. You need to trade ranges until they break. At the moment the range broke, so I'll just throw this off. The MACD indicator is still, it's kind of curling up on the 1 hour. On the 15-minute might be already curled up and maybe crossing. It's attempting a cross up. Let's look at our EMAs. Our EMAs on the 15-minute gave us a bearish cross several hours ago. On the 4-hourly, we were trying to make that bullish cross of the EMAs to come up and cross here, but we failed, and now we're pinching downwards. So let's see how that plays out. On the hourly, we had a bullish cross, and now with 8 and 13 have crossed down. And if the 21 crosses down, then that's a bearish cross. We'll get a bearish cross, but the 1 hourly is not a very strong indication of where we would be going. You see, that's a 200 that I was talking about. Important targets for Bitcoin, in my opinion, you need to look at the bigger time frame. For starters, you have this, the 55 at 21,650. If we pump there, then it would be a good chance to short again. We did it yesterday, see, but we didn't. The EMA was a bit further. Now we have the EMA came down 21,668, and we have this level that was support before, and now it's resistance. It's close by, so 22,111. This level, in my opinion, would be very important. If we go back in time, I'll put it on the daily, and I'll show you what was this level in the past, 2020, 2021, and let's look at it. 2021. See, this level on 2021 was a big support. Look at the candle. This is on the weekly chart at the moment. If I go on the daily, you'll notice more candle. Look at this candle. Look at the bounce over here. Look at the wick. So we broke below it, and now it was strong support for a while. Now it's going to be strong resistance. Now, daily levels. If you want to go for daily levels, you go on the daily chart, and I'll show you how do you do levels on daily charts and how do you use them on other time frames. Now, if you go here, yesterday we had a daily candle. The support was down here where the candle opened. So you look at the daily open 2540. So you put it around 2540 there. Just not exact, just for illustration. Now it was supposed to be support, but we broke below it, so it's invalid. And if we close red today, then our daily resistance would be at 2714. That would be our daily resistance. Now, if you go on a weekly time frame and you look at our strong resistance, would be around here, this candle. So I can put that target, and I'll change the colors so it could be clearer for knowing them as support or resistance. So this would essentially be red. If I say it's red for resistance, because we're under it, red. All of these are red unless we go above them. So these targets, this is on the weekly. And if you go on the monthly, you can even have much powerful targets. You go like that, you take that, and 31. This would be a perfect entry probably for short, not financial advice. Now, another indicator you could use to find levels of trading from, and it gives you some kind of ranges. You could see them as ranges. I mean, you go to the indicators, type GAN square of 9. Those are GAN levels, and sometimes they match with Fibonacci levels. As you can see, we're below the 2400, and if we go to it, we might get rejected, and the level of support below is 19700. That is one. I believe this is a wave 4, but I might be wrong. It could be a bigger wave 1 and a 2, and we're going up for 3. Now, Forex Factory here. Today, Jerome Powell is speaking. Let's see what time it will be. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. Fed Chair Powell testifies 9:30 a.m. So I believe that's 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Okay, that would be on Wednesday. And we have the CPI report. That's for CAD. CPI for GBP. The euro is having manufacturing PMIs on Thursday. And we have Fed Chair Powell again speaking on Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern, as I believe. So Wednesday and Thursday will be interesting. Friday is the last day of the week. So there'll be some action guaranteed on Thursday or Friday. Ethereum, on the other hand, let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum is bumping its head on the 4-hourly cloud. Bitcoin, not so much. Let's see where Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is far from the purple cloud, so we still have room for upside. But when you look at Ethereum, Bitcoin on the daily, let's look at Bitcoin on the 4-hourly to compare it with Ethereum. Bitcoin on the 4-hourly is also close to the cloud. Ethereum is a bit closer. It's bumping its head. It's getting resistance. It needs to break this. If it doesn't, then we'll just be going down, rolling down back to these levels, 911, or even go down to 700 untested. Target that I had from a breakout of a rising wedge that I've drawn before, it was 705. That's my target for Ethereum. If you want to go above, targets the upside. You see this move, this wave move up of Ethereum. I was counting it as a probable ABC, and if it were, I would expect a 1.618, a probable 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5, and even if it's a C wave, it could go to 1.618. I was expecting it to go to the 1-to-1 at least, if it's a WXY, or 1.618, but it hasn't done that. It only got to the 0.5, exceeded the 0.382, which would be the corrective range. 0.236, 0.382 are the corrective ones, but sometimes we could stretch further for wave 4. On the 1 hour, the Ethereum, we need to hold to be able to move up. If we move up, then levels to watch for, probably the 0.5, we've taken it. If we go up to the 0.618 at 1225, that's a target. And next target is 1273. And the target above that is 133. So if I put those targets here, we have one target up here, second target over here, and over here just at the middle of the golden pocket. That's for Ethereum. If we go lower and we want to see where could we retrace to, for Ethereum, if we take this entire move up from the bottom to the top, we will see our golden pocket and the 0.5. These are important targets, the 0.5 and the golden pocket. The 0.5 is right over here at 1035, and the 0.618 and 0.65 in between them is 994. So I would expect us to retrace back at least to the 994. But let's see what happens with Ethereum. If this was an impulse up and the correction is going downwards, then we would gain support probably at the 0.382 as we are now. And let's see, if this is a wave 2, it shouldn't break previous wave 2. So we said this is a 1, this is a 2, 3 had a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 had a 1, 2, 3, 4, and this was some kind of a 5th wave. It's not an easy count, even for experienced Elliot wave traders. But if this wave 2 breaks this order block, then it will be coming down to wave, if I say this was wave 1, this is wave 2, it will be coming down to a wave 1, a wave 2 of a lower degree. This is a bigger degree wave 2. This is a smaller degree wave 2 within, say, a wave 1, if we're assuming this whole thing was a wave 1. But I don't like that count, but it could be possible. Now, the DXY, what has the DXY done and what does it have to do? The DXY is trying to rip up again above the 105. It hasn't tested it today. It hasn't tested it since the 17th. So we need to test and see what the DXY at the moment today from the opening of today would be around here. We've been pumping. So could we say this is a 1, this is a 2, and we're going up for a 3? Let's see. But this shape over here looked like a blow off top kind of thing, like what happened to Bitcoin at 64K or 65K, the previous all-time high. And now are we going to form a double top on the DXY and come down, and that will give the markets relief to rally again? The Nasdaq isn't looking good today. The Nasdaq just keeps impressing us with lower lows and lower lows. Let's see if it's going to, looks like it wants to go down today to take out that last week's low. Dow Jones, same thing. It's not too far from taking it out. The SPY isn't open now in the SPX. Now, Solana. I wanted to talk about Solana because Solana done me good last week, but and then I kind of got wrecked this week. It gave me a lot of chop yesterday. I tried to trade it, but it wasn't working out for me. A lot of chop. I mean, you have to be careful in your trading. You have to use stop losses. You have to decide what size, trading size are you going to take, position size. Sometimes the way I start, or the way I started trading, when I just started trading, I wasn't aware. I used to go heavy, big sizes. So it ends up being big loss because I can't tolerate, the risk tolerance is much less. So if the price moves a bit and I'm losing $50 or $100, that's like too much. Oh, I have to close the trade, so I close in a loss. But now and then I started trading really light. I mean really light on Bitcoin. I started very light, like I would go on a trade using $15 trades, and that's how I grew a bit of my portfolio. Once you learn to flip $10 into $20 or $50, then you get a taste of it, and then you start growing your account. Then you learn, but don't get cocky. Don't think that, yeah, I was able to transform 10, flip it into 20 or 50, and I can do it with 100 or 200 all of a sudden. No, you might wipe out your account. Just be careful. Solana looks like it got a good bounce from this level. Let's see, what was it? This was the count for the move up. The move up for Solana, we bumped our heads. Did we bump our heads like Bitcoin? Solana was above the EMAs. It was trading very nice, and at the moment it's holding this lower degree wave. And if it wants to go higher, it needs to hold it. And I'll tell you possible target if it wants to go to the 1-to-1. It's at 37. So we take this 37. Next target 1.61843, and 0.786 is also a significant level at around 35.28. Now Solana, it exceeded the extension of the 0.618. When I plotted this, it hasn't gotten here. So now I'll just remove that and see what are the possible retracement. My target for Solana was 22. It was a measured move. But now this target of 22, if you look at it, I believe it was a measured move of this channel, a break of this channel, and I was saying we could have a 22. See, let's just stretch it a bit because it was longer than this. Yeah, I did 22. But now we broke from here. We didn't break from there. So you take it from the first point of the breakout. Let me straightened out. And the price tag would be, the breakout target for this would be around 31, so not so far away. It could go lower, but that's my target. My first target would be that. And if I go for fib retracements from the bottom to the top of the pump, you'll see this target aligns perfectly with 0.618, so that is confluence. So you get confluence, you get targets, you get several things showing the same thing. That's confluence, and that gives you a bigger idea of, or higher probability or possibility. So we might come and visit this today or tomorrow. Keep that in mind. And if we do, it's a golden pocket, you might get a good bounce from it. Let's check our Gann square of 9. And I want to look at Ichimoku Gann square of 9 for Solana. The levels of Gann at the moment, we're above one level, 34.3. Above us is 35.2 as resistance, and above that is 36.15. Let's bring the Ichi. I never took a look at it on Solana. On the 4-hourly, at the moment we've pierced through resistance cloud and we're traveling in it, and Solana has a better deal than Bitcoin because by the 25th we have a Kumo twist and a support cloud. If we're able to continue this upward momentum, the cloud will thin, the resistance cloud will thin, and you get a twist and you get the support cloud. You would see the same on other alts because they move more volatilely than Bitcoin and Ethereum. So when Bitcoin moves a bit, they move so much, so they get to pull it up and thin the cloud and cause the Kumo twist. Now, if we look at the total market cap, how much is the total market cap at the moment? We were at 3 trillion at the time, I believe, and now we're at 875 billion. That's 2/3 of the money in the crypto market left the crypto market. Let's look at the alts excluding Ethereum, and I mean the total market cap without Bitcoin, without Ethereum. So that's just totally alts, nothing else. Is this? Yeah, that's a total 3. Look how much did the alts drop in the past weeks. The alts market cap was at 1 trillion, now is at 357 billion. Let's look at the alts with Ethereum. They were at around 1.7 trillion, and now we're at 488 billion. That's a significant amount of money that moved out of the market. You need to be aware of that. Bitcoin on the weekly had a head and shoulders, I was telling you that, and we had a measured move roughly from here to here, the neckline, and the target for that would be a break of the neckline. That would bring us to 13,280. That's again confluence. 13,280 is a significant level. Why? Because I believe it was a previous high probably, and it is, do we have a gap at 13,280? 13,280, 12, no, we have no gap, but it would be 1,300, somewhere at this range, somewhere around here. Look at that, 2019 highs. The peak of 2019 would be around 14,000. You could say it ranges between 12 to 14,000. So that would be a good retest of, as people look at this as a wave 1. So this would be a good retest of the wave 1. Bitcoin has never done it. Before we close up, I would like to show you something real quick. So just stay with me, bear with me a bit. I'll remove all of these and I'm going to pull up the QEMAs, and I want to show you where are we in regards to EMAs. Let's take all the rest out. So there we are. I told you before the 10 and 100 rarely crossed before. You can count the number of times on the weekly chart. We had a one cross over here. We had one cross over here, bearish cross, fake out, and now we've had this. I alerted to you. I was the only one. I'm the only one showing this, I believe. Now let's measure the drop from the cross. If we say the cross happened on this red candle and we dropped this much, 43% after the cross. Now let's go here and see how much have we dropped after the cross. The cross happened here. So essentially this candle, and we had a pump. I won't count that. And 43% would say we've completed it. So that tells you that if past performance would indicate future results, then that could be done. That's it. And this from the pump to down is 45%. So we've done what we've never done before, what we've done before, and even more. We've crossed the 300 EMA. We've never closed a weekly candle below the 300 EMA. Ever since Bitcoin had a 300 EMA, we've wicked it. We never closed below it and open below the 400 EMA. So this is significant, and I'm sure a lot of people are looking at it. Usually when a lot of people are looking at something, the opposite happens in the market. So just be aware. Let's look at this EMA. I'm going to set it to 500. So we have a target. I believe I just told you the target of 13,000 something for the head and shoulders measured move. The 500 should be somewhere there, the 13,000 range. For some reason this 500 doesn't want to work, so I have to pull up from TradingView. Okay, should we take this? Okay, we'll take this one. Okay, so there you are. I still can't see the 500. That would tell me that probably Bitcoin doesn't have a 500 on the weekly. Let's see. Let's put it on the monthly. Maybe we can see a 500. We wouldn't, because we'd have less months. Let's go on the daily. The daily has a 500 and 400 above us. What about the weekly? This is on Coinbase. I wanted trading Bitstamp. There you go. Bitstamp has more data. So if I say the 500, yeah, I told you the target, head and shoulders target would bring us down to 13,000, around that range. And the Kima, I want to check the 10 and the 100, because now I'm on Bitstamp. Maybe I could find an additional cross that happened between the 10 and 100. Here we had a fake out. It can't be counted. Here we had a cross. It's never happened. Wait a minute. Let's keep the 10 and the 100 for clarity, so we can see the 10 and 100 on the weekly. That's one fake out. Bearish cross, bullish cross. I was looking at Coinbase, so I didn't have data. I thought so there was an additional cross. This is 3. I think that's it. So if you look at this one, look at how much we dropped. Those other ones dropped about 40%. So you see the cross happened here at this candle. So we counted from here all the way down. Gave us a 58 to 57. So if we say it gave us a 60 and the others gave us 40, so that's an average of if you take an average of that, you would say it's around 45% roughly. So we'd be expecting 45, and looking at this, we've got 45 already. We've got 45 after the cross. Here was our cross at this candle. Yeah. We got 44, so very close. Our weekly MACD is still down. I want to check the RSI on higher time frames to see if we have any hidden bearish divergences to be aware of. So I'll just take away the MACD. And on the weekly, as you can see, we had bearish divergence between this peak and this peak and this peak and this peak. That was bearish, and it played out, or it's playing out still. At the moment, our lows, we're forming lower lows, lower lows. No hidden bearish divergence at the moment, unless you want to count this one from 2020, which is insane. Yeah, I mean, how many years back do you want to go? 2020, and RSI is forming a lower low, and over here we're forming a higher low, and that would be hidden bullish divergence. And you don't get hidden bullish divergence in a downtrend. You would get hidden divergences are continuation of the trend, so you can't get a hidden divergence in an opposite direction. That's one. So no divergences on the weekly. On the daily, we want to see that bullish divergence that would tell us, okay, Bitcoin is done dumping and we're going to reverse very soon, or we are reversing now. If we look at this one, we had a low, we had a lower low. Over here, I believe we had a higher low, but it failed. Now Bitcoin, what Bitcoin needs to do now is spike down, break this low, have a lower low in price action, and RSI, Bitcoin to spike down, cause a wick and the candle to pull up and close above. That would be a liquidation spike. And as a result, because the RSI's movement goes with the candle close, it doesn't go with the wicks. So the RSI will still be up because the candle will close above. So the RSI would give us a higher low, and this would give us a lower low, and that would be bullish divergence, and that would be time to long. If we get a liquidation spike, it might be quick. I mean, we could break 17,000 and this wick could just take us back up to 19,000. It's going to be a strong liquidation. Remember a few days ago, weeks ago, they've been talking about Michael Saylor's bags being close to, positions being close to their margin calls at 20K. What's happening with that? Anyways, that's my update for the crypto market. Please like, subscribe, and click the notifications. I give you updates every now and then, almost daily. I'm out.